it turned out, oddly enough, that the western states are being affected much more than the rest of the continental United States by the warming that we're seeing than by any other part. And in fact, in parts of the east, there is relatively little or even no warming, in some cases even a little bit of cooling over the past 30 years or so. So there's a strong asymmetry in the heating and cooling patterns in the United States. And the West is being picked on for some reason. In addition, the seasons aren't being affected uniformly. Spring probably has the greatest trends in temperature. Winter has some. Summer hasn't been doing much until just lately, about the past 10 years or so. We've had a whole spate of pretty warm summers in the western states. And fall has been kind of nondescript. It hasn't really done much of anything.
In some respects, the West is particularly vulnerable to climate change. And to large part, this is because of our landscape. We have a fair bit of our region in California that lies in these critical zones where rain and snow are being formed in close proximity. There's a zone of elevations where we form a snow line. In a warmer world, we may see those zones transitioning so that there's more rain rather than more snow. Generally, about April 1st is the maximum accumulation of snow in western mountainous watersheds in California also. And it's been observed from records that have been kept over these 5 or 6 decades that across the western part of the country we've lost about 10% of the snow water that's accumulated in watersheds over this 5 or 6 decade period, and that we can pretty strongly attribute to warming. We've seen across the West an earlier snowmelt runoff in western snowmelt-driven streams to the tune of about a week earlier than what melts looked like in the 1950s and 1960s.